Let's start in Philadelphia, where the Sixers are hosting the Thunder. The Sixers laying 9.5 and a total of 231.5. Jenks, initially I thought to myself, oh man, Oklahoma City getting 9.5. They've played just about everybody tough. They've been covering numbers, 3 straight against the spread wins. But if you look at the history between the Sixers and Oklahoma City, it looks like the Sixers have absolutely dominated most of these games. 3-0 straight up and 2-1 against the spread. So Jenks, I don't think this one is as easy as I thought.
No, it's not. But I know what you're saying. I saw this as well. And the Sixers have been a wagon at home. But I like the Thunder here. And they usually find a way to cover. At least they have so far this season. And bettors, I think, automatically assume because they're not a good basketball team, oh, they're going to get blown out here. And yeah, that happens from time to time. But they're 4-1 against the number in their last 5 overall. They're 4-1 against the spread in their last 5 meetings in Philly. And it's hard for me to justify laying 9.5. I actually would grab the 9.5 with the Thunder.
I think it's only Thunder for me. And it makes me a little worried because these two teams squared off on New Year's Eve, and it was a Sixers win, 115-96, and the Sixers were only laying 2.5 because that game was in Oklahoma City. I think the play that I would like taking in this one is probably Joel Embiid over his rebounding prop of 10.5. I got this one last night, so maybe it's moved. But if you look at the matchup, Oklahoma City gives up the most rebounds of any team in the NBA. Last time out, Joel Embiid had 13 boards. He's hit this number in 3 straight games. So I think this is Joel Embiid's night to have a ton of boards. So over 10.5 rebounds for Joel Embiid would be my play on that one. And also a slight lean to the Thunder plus 9.5. But I don't want to play too many things and try to thread the needle too much in just one game. All right, so let's go to the Bucks and the Heat. I'm not seeing a line on this one. I need to double check that. But for me, the Heat are almost unbettable. This is not a team I want to back because I never know who's playing. And the Bucks are playing on a back-to-back. So, Jenks, should we just skip this one? Is there any angle that we should talk about?
Well, the only angle I think is just laying it with or grabbing the points with the Bucks. There's no way I want to bet on the Heat. I mean, they set 4 starters the other night against the Thunder. We were on the Thunder in that game, and they won. They didn't cover the spread. They won by a single point, and they had to hit 40 of 40 from the free throw line to win. That's not going to happen again. Bucks have won 4 or 5. I know it's the back end of a back-to-back, but you never know who's going to start for the Heat. So, yeah, the Heat are favored right now, and the Bucks generally aren't good on the road. But what happens at noon or 1 or 1:30 today when the Heat say, hey, we got 2 guys playing tonight. It's going to be 5-on-2. No, I'm not taking the Heat. I would lean Bucks, but ultimately the Heat are just a massive stay away. It's just a red flag every single morning with them.
Yeah, I have no desire to bet on the Miami Heat. All right, next let's go to a game that I'm pretty intrigued by. However, no Kevin Durant when we have the Celtics squaring off against the Nets. We have the Celtics 2.5-point favorites in this one on the road, and the total 227.5. Jenks, does this line seem short?
Yeah, I think this line is a trap is what I think. I kind of
Did the Celtics play last night?
They
Maybe
did.
it's because they're on a back-to-back.
Not only are they on a back-to-back, they're playing their 3rd game in 4 nights. So I think that has a lot to do with it. And also, if you look at the Nets, they haven't played since Sunday. So they're rested. The Celtics are worn out. And you know who the best scoring team in the NBA is? It's the Brooklyn Nets. I think Boston is probably going to be a little bit tired here, and this line just seems so much like a trap. So my gut is grab the Nets and the points.
Yeah, I feel like this might be a good way to spin the points props is when Kevin Durant is out, somebody's going to have to pick up the slack. Probably going to be Kyrie Irving, one would imagine, right? Is that too simplistic of an answer? But they do have some good secondary scorers. TJ Buckets, TJ Warren, who went to my alma mater, NC State. Maybe take a look at his points prop. It's usually pretty low. I think it's probably going to be like 10.5 because somebody's going to have to make up for the scoring. And plus, when you have a Celtics team that can really run up the score, the Nets are going to have to do something. They're going to have to shoot more threes. They're going to have to do something to keep pace with the Celtics. But have we decided which side we're taking? Like, I want to take the Nets just because they've been so good. And, you know, this line seems alarmingly short and situationally it's not a good spot for the Celtics. but also you're getting a very good Celtics team at a short number. So I'm pretty torn here.
Yeah, I'm not crazy about it, but when I see it, this is honestly, this is just a contrarian play because when I looked at this, and what is the immediate thought that you have when you look at this line? You think, oh my God, Celtics laying only 3 points, the Nets without KD. It's a simple handicap. You think, oh, Celtics all day. But you take a step back and you realize that Brooklyn has played very good basketball as a team. They do have other guys on that roster who can step up, and some of those guys you mentioned. So when I see a trap line like this, I tend to look at the other side. And that's why I like Brooklyn.
Oh, yeah. I don't think I'm playing anything in it because it does seem very trappy to me. Let's go to Toronto, and we have the Hornets and the Raptors. Raptors laying 7.5 at home, total 230.5. Jenks, the Hornets are god awful, but they're getting 7.5 points here. Is there any case for the Hornets? Are you taking the Raptors at home?
Oh, God, this game sucks. Let me give you the case for Charlotte. I'd lean Hornets here. I will not bet this game. God knows I don't want to grab 50 points with the Hornets. But here's the thing. They're meeting for the second time in 3 days. And when you do that, the other team can make quick adjustments to shorten the number. I think the Raptors won by 12 in the first meeting. And the Raptors just aren't good at home at covering the number, Chelsea. They're 3-7 against the spread in their last 10 home games. So if you're going to bet this game, I would hold my nose and lean Hornets. But ultimately, just find another game on the board besides this one.
Yeah, I think there are good teams in the NBA to bet on that are like not great teams. You know, there's teams like the Pacers or whoever, sometimes the Magic, even though they get blown out a lot too. But the Hornets are a team that I don't think I can bet on just because they are so bad. They've lost 7 of their last 10, and they haven't even been that great at covering numbers, losing 4 of their last 6 games against the spread. So, yeah, it's a lot of points, but I don't think there's a play for this one. If any, I think I would lean towards the Raptors. Let's go to the Blazers and the Cavs. The Cavs laying 2.5 on the road here, total 223.5. Now, you need to pay attention to the injury report in this one because I believe I saw where Damian Lillard, is questionable for this one. But we know the Cavs are usually the play when they're playing at home. But what about on the road? So far this season, they've not been a great road team, just 8-12 straight up when playing on the road. So now they're laying 2.5 points here. But again, the Trailblazers don't have Damian Lillard, I'm expecting.
You know what? Why not just take the Cavaliers on the money line here at -140? It's a touch pricey, but it's not crazy. And look, the Blazers have that incredible hot start. They've completely fallen off, and especially in the past 2 or 3 weeks, their scoring has dropped in a big way. Jarrett Allen has been sick for the Cavaliers, but he's expected to play tonight. He's probable. You mentioned Dame Dalla. He's questionable. This line seems really short to me, and already we're seeing money come in on the Cavaliers. I'm going to take the Cavaliers on the money line here.
Yeah, I think that's the only play. Just because the Blazers have been so bad. I do want to get to this Mavs-Lakers game. We have the Mavs laying 3.5 in LA. Total 229.5. Anthony Davis, of course, out. LeBron James is always questionable, I feel like. But it's the TNT game. So I'm kind of expecting the stars to go off. But LeBron James being questionable is not great. Jenks, is there an angle here for you?
Oh God, what am I going to do with this game? I'm looking at it right now. You know
Oh,
what I
so
would do?
LeBron's probable? Like, God, I hate the NBA. Probable, questionable, who knows?
All right. That's what they should do. They should put LeBron James. Who knows? Luka, perhaps. You know, just put it out there. You guys don't know. I might look at a Luka points prop because he has been carrying the load. We talked about that yesterday, doing so much trying to carry this Mavericks team. Doesn't really trust his teammates. Would need to look at that number, but total is decent for the Mavs. I'd go over Luka points prop as maybe, it's 34.5. Might still take it. That might not be high enough.
But that's the thing. You're never getting a discount on Luka Doncic.
I know.
He's not coming out of the woodwork. You're not sneaking up on people by betting the over on Luka Doncic.